Agatha all along, episode 6, titled Samir by the Side. Now, this episode, what I found to be, is maybe the weakest episode of the show so far. Now, I'm enjoying this show. I'm not one of these people who go and bitches and cries every little thing. Why? Because, oh my god, there are women in here. Oh my god, the gay people and people of color. And say, oh my god. Oh my god. It's like it's weird because you got all these insecure people who are saying, "Who is it for? Who's the show for?" Clearly not you. Clearly, what's happening is Marvel trying to click to a different demographic, and some people, like me, are enjoying it. Some people ain't. Some ain't for you. It's simple. Look, it's like the comics. Some comics are going to be targeted to different demographics. Yes, it's Marvel related, it fits inside the superhero genre, but not everyone's going to read. You know, Spider Man is a different, aims for a different demographic than the Punisher. Okay, sometimes they crisscross and mix match, but not everything's meant to be for you. Okay, Jesus, calm your shit. It's like the fight. It's like the moment that happens, people go gets a little bit of a hissy fit. Anyway, but I found this episode too. But I am enjoying the show so far. I'm looking forward for the next 2 weeks with the final 3 episodes. But I found this episode be a bit redundant. Outside of the first 10 minutes, I found this episode to be a bit redundant. That I wasn't really learning anything else. Like the difference with Penguin, for example, right? You see the difference with Penguin because we kind of had this situation where it was kind of a time flashback episode. The difference with Penguin this week and Agatha this week is that Penguin, you were learning about Sophia. You were learning how this person became this person. How does this innocent woman became ruthless and cold and calculated and felt becoming the person that she claimed she wasn't. With William and Attica, it felt like we're just seeing the point of view of episode 1 and slightly episode 2 in William's point of view and how we got there, how William got there. And I just felt it was unnecessary, really. I felt it was like wow bonus stuff. I felt was like this episode for me felt very meh. Really, it felt very meh because I just felt like we weren't really picking up any new information outside just clarifying that he is William Maximoff. Now, the reveal itself, with how William becomes a real person, I still have questions. And it all comes down to the thing of because William in WandaVision wasn't a essentially a real person. They weren't real. They were all part of Wanda's imagination in WandaVision. Whatever is that whatever existed outside the hex was not whatever existed inside the hex that wasn't already there before the hex was created was not real. So the question comes down to entities and when it comes to like entities and souls, reaching other bodies, and now that person's now this is now this person. I kind of comes down to quality for me personally. I felt like, well, can William have a consciousness? Can William have a soul where he wasn't real to begin with? He wasn't real. He was part of Wanda's imagination. So for me, using logic and using MCU and the rules that was set in WandaVision, it felt like watching the origin story of how Billy Kaplan, the became William Maximoff, felt like, oh, it's magic, so we can do whatever the hell we want. Not, hey, let's really think about this through. how was this possible? How was this set in place? It felt a bit of a cop out. It felt like, oh, it's magic, so we can do whatever we want. But I feel like the best way to be fair, have we never set the rules of magic? You know, we set rules are here and there, but never we set the rules of magic itself because this is the first time we're diving into magic. You know, so but not really because you got like Doctor Strange and you got Star Witch, but they have never really set any rules of it. It is a bit of like anything can happen just because. Maybe the odd thing here and there, but most of it is it's magic, so it can happen just because. And I feel like we needed a little bit more clarification on how that could be possible. It could be ECB, it's the least important thing. But for me, you know, trying to go like canonizing it, it just doesn't. I know it just didn't really work for me personally because I still have all these questions. So, and Mike is the idea of like, hey, how nerdy can we get? How far can we go with this without losing the average Joe who's just like, hey, give us the next trial. Because clearly it's going to be next week. Now, the last 10 minutes I quite enjoyed, which was, you know, Agatha climbs out in the mud, and we find out that William straight up murdered the other witches. Straight up murdered, unknowingly, uncontrollably murdered the other witches. And so we technically have like a trial left, and that's it. Because Attica has already had her trial. So it clearly it's going to be all about Bill and William, what his trial is, who was his trial holds and sense of it. But knowing it, the dynamic is now shifted to Attica, I trust you, to I don't trust you one little bit. And knowing that Attica has changed. Maybe she'll never change. Maybe, and I like how they're not doing the typical Disney thing, which is, oh, she's not bad, but she's a good person after all. There's goodness in her, and she will change her ways. It feels, I like that. I really like how different it is, and how Annika will basically be. She isn't going to. I think this is going to be a situation where we kind of want her to change. We don't want to. I mean, to be fair, most fandoms don't want character development with the characters. But to be, but this is the character I feel like if she shifts right now to oh I'm good all along, it will feel there's goodness in me after all. I just feel like it would be un like I can get maybe a sense of her giving like the big sacrifice or whatever. But yeah, I did find, yeah, as I said, I found this episode being the weakest out of the bunch. Yeah, wow, Boner as this weirdest bit, I was like, okay, um, and that. So yeah, I found it to be the weakest. Still enjoying the show, still enjoying the show, but yeah, good thing next week we'll be back on the main story on the trials and all that kind of stuff. So comment below, tell me your